Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the RWBY Radio Podcast. We're at the end of a volume, and we've got a big episode to get through. But you may be wondering why I'm being a lot more calmer than my usual self. And that is because, as you can probably already tell by the giggles in the background, I got a few guests with me this week, and it's going to be absolute chaos. So all calmness is about to go out the window. This is all you're going to get. Because joining me on the podcast, I have not got you one guest. I have not got you two. Not even three. We've got 4 guests on the podcast. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary pals. We have Captain Intro.
Sup?
BloodRaven.
Hello.
Empress of Edge.
Yo.
And SparksRise.
Hello.
This is going to get very loud and very hectic very quickly. I hope any of this is manageable for the podcast. How are you lot doing?
Eating pretzels.
Coping.
Eating
I'm
pretzels.
Coping.
Dying slowly and surely.
Did we all enjoy the finale?
We did.
Fine enjoy.
Define enjoy.
That's a good answer.
I suffered, if that's what you mean.
Would survive count? Did we all survive the finale?
On some level, I guess, yes.
On some level, yeah.
Right, okay. You don't need to know this. It's spoilers. We're going to get straight into this. Rest in peace, the Volume 7 intro. This is the last we see of you, of being a new intro, once again.
I'm actually going to miss it so much. I love
The
that
last
intro.
time we ever see
When
the
we
old
trust
hairstyles.
in love.
Sorry. It still blows me, that little bit where they jump between the outfits, and it's just like, oh, they've grown so much. And then you remember what's happening at the end of this, and then you're like, oh, they're all gonna die.
I'm just sad that this intro's gone because this will be the final time I ever see Blake's long hair.
Oh.
Rip in peace.
I can live with that.
Fair enough.
For the sake of my Bob.
Yes.
Sacrifices had to be made for the Bible.
So we get Neo fighting Juniper. This is the first question that comes to mind. What is Neo's umbrella made of? Because it gets hit with a grenade and bullets.
Kevlar.
It's made of
Sheer
willpower. It's made of her small gremlin energy, honestly.
Her hatred for
I
Cinder.
agree.
Yeah, it's made of just pure I am tiny but fierce and I will survive energy that she has. Like that's
It's made of pure vibe checks.
We don't need to know beyond that.
I want to know, what's Oscar's plan when he just rugby tackles Neo? Like, he just grabs her and Neo's just like, the shit is this?
Honestly, yeah, so many people were complaining about, like, oh, how did he manage it? And I'm like, well, she was probably kind of surprised to see this, like, 14-year-old kid just, like, running, jumping at her and, like, yeeting himself in her face.
Like, who is this sassy lost child?
Yeah, basically. I love the bit when he, like, he grabs, like, her illusions, like, and then French.
I
Like,
do also,
Oscar's just there, like, hey.
I do love Juniper just running around the dorms being chased by guards. Just like,
Oh, yeah.
if
They're
someone
all
can make an edit of this
fugitives now.
to the Benny Hill theme tune,
Oh,
it'd be great.
yeah.
Like,
Oh no.
It's like the
Oh,
Breakfast
no.
Club,
oh,
where they're all
yes!
just running through the hallways, trying not to get caught.
My thought
I'll
was
take
far
your
less
word for it.
complicated, and I was thinking about Scooby-Doo when they're getting chased around
Oh
and
my
keep going
God,
in and out of
yeah.
different doors.
yes. And then, well, what's the scene after that? Yeah, we get Cinder versus Winter and Penny.
This fight is amazing.
That was a great fight. Anime as fuck.
The choreography in it is absolutely fantastic.
It be.
Is this Cinder backstory we're being teased? What is this?
I hope
What are
so.
these lines? What does it mean?
Is Cinder finally relevant?
I felt like I was like, ooh, hello Cinderella. Like we finally get hints, crumbs of development, and I'm here for it.
I refuse to starve is a great line.
It is.
That was a really
It's
good-
funny, but it's also great. Like that's something Justin Naguri really brought me like legit good acting game this episode.
Yeah, great delivery in that scene.
Like,
I'm so proud of how far she's come.
I feel like a lot of people, they always said that she wasn't a great person, but I feel like that was more because Cinder was just such a boring character, so she had nothing to like work with to make it interesting. So like now that she was given some good shit,
something I've just thought of. Is this the first time we've actually ever seen Cinder go toe-to-toe with someone who's not a maiden? Like a major character? Because we got the Pyrrha fight, but she was clearly far better than Pyrrha. I mean, Pyrrha was still a kid in training. And then the next time we see her fight, RWBY doesn't really count because RWBY just turns up and beams her one. And then the next time we see her, it's her versus Raven, which is Maiden v Maiden. Like, this time she's actually against a very competent fighter and, let's be real, a death robot. So, like, seeing her actual, like, moveset for once, and the fact that, holy shit, she's a venomous fighter, like her not holding back is... I think it lets the animators have a lot more fun with the fight scenes. Like, they can be a lot more creative. Yeah, they can be a lot more creative.
I feel you.
Because my favourite bit of this is just Cinder screams and then jet bursts them out of the room, and then we get them flying outside and having an aerial battle. Like, I don't think there's any other characters we could have really had this fight with, could we?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, her fight with Raven was extra, but in different ways.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that we did not see... I don't think we saw any dual wielding from Winter.
No, we do.
Come back.
Before she gets knocked out the window.
I haven't rewatched this, so apparently...
Yeah, she does dual wield at one point. I was just looking through the scene and I paused on just the right screenshot, and I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing.
I
thought it's the best now.
Oh my god.
I'm going to caption this for the pod. When I put this on the podcast, I'm just going to caption it with Winter with us and the explosion with the Volume 7 finale.
It just be like that. It just be like that.
Like, just
Look at that shit.
the way that she's just like, yes.
Like, same Winter,
Her face.
same.
Oh, there we go. There's the dual wielding. Sorry.
Winter is a whole ass move.
I do love when the line to Penny, "I will not be beaten by some toy," and as she's distracted yelling, the Winter just blasts her. Of which Winter riding a manticore is
metal.
That is top tier quality.
It was so extra.
It was amazing.
It was
so extra.
You didn't need to go this hard, but you did. Like,
flipping Cinder flipping Cinder football kicking a sword at Penny, flipping Winter riding a flipping manticore. Like, this entire fight is just one level above.
It's so extra. I love it.
It's such an epic fight. I'm still just looking at the screenshot and I can't take anything seriously. I'm going to click away because I cannot take anything seriously when that is on my screen. Anyway.
The bit where it slows down, we suddenly get Winter go, like, has the head-on-head with Cinder, and we get Cinder, like, dip down and just slice her summon across its underside. Whoever animated and came up with this scene, that shot is just... Oh, it's such a good shot of just, like, it slows down and Cinder just slowly turns and cuts it. Like, that is such a creative one. Of which we then get flipping Penny go full Superman. Supergirl. And save Winter.
And Winter's like, my life doesn't matter. And I'm like, fucking stop!
And Penny's just like,
I disagree. No, Penny's like, yeah, no.
That gives me personal feelings.
We go back to Team Juniper, of which, really, no one in Team Juniper noticed how far behind Oscar was lagging. Like,
you gotta do
Literally, you know, there's that thing from one of the McElroy bros, but one of the McElroy like, I abandoned my boy. That's them realizing that Oscar's
Like, cause
gone.
you think Nora can sense Oscar danger? Like,
Yeah, but they're just like, fuck, we abandoned our boy.
I do like how Neo uses her semblance to make Oscar think that he's lost the rest of Team Juniper. And the scene of like her just stabbing the air as Oscar tries to dive away, and her eyes change color. Like, oh,
bro,
As Nora. Oh god.
the bitch.
oh, it's when she parts the umbrella away and it just goes slow mo, and you see the eyes, and you're just like, I am fear. Oh, just. And so Neo's got the lamp, and suddenly we get flipping Team Junior fighting Nora. So we gotta talk about it after she does away with Jean, and she runs into Ren, and they go for like the clash of blades, and she turns her eyes back to Nora's.
I
hate that scene was. I hate and love that scene. It was so painful.
This is the
Like,
first time of many in this episode that RWBY will kill us.
How dare they do that?
Oh,
I was truly expecting Neo to turn into Pyrrha, but this also hurt like so much.
oh yeah, that was a theory going around all last week was, oh Neo will turn into Pyrrha. RWBY had a far more horrifying idea to go with.
Yeah.
They went Galaxy Brain, like, how about we make it Renora Angst instead?
Oh, it's just no. Why did you have to do this, RWBY? Like, there's a still frame, which is just as Ren is realizing, and Neo as Nora is still cowering in fear, and it just breaks your heart. It does. It just rips your heart right out of your chest and then crushes it in front of you. Like, why'd you do this to us? I mean, it's amazing, but why'd you do
Rihanna,
this?
did you have
What
to
was the
share,
reason?
Did you have to share that pic of Ren's face with that expression? Did you
He's
need
so
to?
sad.
What was the
I know,
reason?
Rihanna, I
Because if
That's
I
the
feel
reason.
pain, you must.
I remember. Why?
What's
No.
worse, that face of Ren realizing, or the face of Ren when he's crying as they run away?
Oh god, stop!
Both are bad. I don't.
Look, crying baby.
We
It's
can
not
have them
okay.
So
We can have those scenes
Oh
back. I
god.
don't want them.
we get Neo sorting her off with the relic as she's dressed as an Atlas officer. And we go back to Cinder as she opens the aura transfer on Freya. Of a lot of people had the idea of badass grandma kicking the shit out of Cinder. We didn't think it was gonna come true. Like, holy damn! This like she just grabs her hand and goes, "Nope, I ain't dying." Boom.
That was
powers.
amazing. She's just try me, bitch.
I may not know what day it is, but I know a bitch when I see one. Based on a post I
Literally.
saw, it was amazing.
Literally, she was just like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." No thanks. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh, so we then get Freya blast a giant hole in the roof and create a ice tornado thingy-majiggy, as we get Cinder hide. This is the bit that worries me, right? So this is a fully realized maiden, as Winter says in a moment. Does this mean Cinder's gonna get to this power level?
I mean, if
I don't
if
want to
she
think about that.
if she gets over her fucking arrogance problem and actually pulls that finger out and trains, then maybe.
And maybe she can toughen up around RWBY because of homegirl.
Homegirl is terrified.
So we get Winter try to get through to her, but she can't because the ice is too cold. And she literally has her gloves burnt off her hand. And so Penny runs straight into the middle of it.
Like you do.
Okay, the minute Penny jumped into that ice vortex, I wasn't the only one who instantly went, yeah, she's gonna be the maiden now, isn't she?
I was
She
so
did.
happy though, man.
Same.
I was
Feeling,
like,
and I was
so
so
ready.
excited.
oh god, okay, can we just like briefly, can we just say like they said trans rights with that?
We're gonna get back to it, don't worry, we're gonna get back to that soon.
I'll
We're going
hold my
chronological.
I'll hold my tongue until we get there.
Before we get into happiness, we've got to go back to more Renora angst.
Why?
As Oscar, John, Pitt, Neo, Nora, and Ren are trapped in the training rooms, we get Ren just yell at Nora. Like, oh,
what was the reason?
It was painful.
The reason?
Eggs.
Is this
Boy
allowed?
needs to chill. Boy needs to chill, honestly. My boy needs to chill.
And so we get Pietro makes contact with them. He's successfully managed to get the scrolls up and working again. And of course, Maria has stolen another airship of the bees. Because Grand Theft Atlas, why not? We get Yang and Blake shooting a load of robots. And as they go to hold out to wait for them, we suddenly get Oscar sneaking off on a one-man mission. Oh. I'm going to bring this up just because of how this episode cuts between the different stories that are going on. I think is very detriment to how good this episode is. Because the pacing felt perfect to me. It kept each story going to a point that I wasn't forgetting about them, but it wasn't neglecting to properly tell each part. Because at this point we're 8.5 minutes in, and we've jumped between two different scenarios, almost three, constantly in a back and forth, but it's worked every single time as it's gone between them.
Yeah, it was done really well.
It was done real good.
So we get Penny making her way through the vortex as she gets her leg frozen and boosts out of it. And I love this of she just goes up to Freya and just like asks if you're okay. And you get the feeling that Freya makes the decision then of like, she didn't kill her, she could have I'm putting the question to you for here. If it had been Winter in the vortex, do you think Winter would have asked her how she is, or do you think Winter would have, Freya?
I don't know if she would have asked how she is. I also don't know if she would just have murdered her.
Yeah.
But we get Penny with this bit, and as Freya kind of falls to the floor, we get Freya saying this whole bit of, I was supposed to protect the power, and what's the line? But you can tell James that I'm ready.
She says, I was supposed to protect the power until I was ready, but you can tell James that I'm ready now.
And we get this bit really... Again, another bit where Creepy just straight up murders us. You get Penny in her head realising that Freya's gonna die, and Penny's basically trying to talk her out of it. Oh... No.
Stop, Kruby. I'm begging. I can only cry so much.
They've taken all of my tears.
We get Freya ask, what's your name? It's Penny. Are you the one? And Penny's like... And you literally could just imagine her going, I have no idea and I'm not qualified to say so. Just everything about that scene is just, you can tell Penny's heartstrings are literally being twisted into knots there.
Strings.
Pun was not intended, but I will take it.
And she looks back up to where Winter is, and she's so conflicted over it.
Yeah.
So we go down to Ironwood, who's in the vault. And we hear the elevator come down. He thinks it's Winter. And Ozpin's theme kicks up as Oscar's there. Ooh, okay, I can't remember if I said this on the podcast. I'm gonna have to go back and look if I said this in someone's DMs or if I said it on the podcast. I remember joking about Oscar getting shot off the edge of the vault by Ironwood. I meant
You
it
spoke
as a
that into
joke. I
existence.
meant it as a joke.
What did you do to the poor boy?
And so we get. I do like the line from Ironwood. Who do I have the pleasure of addressing? Because he thinks it's Ozpin. And we get Oscar try to talk him down. And I'm going to say it, Aaron, I think it's Aaron Dismuke, I think it's pronounced. And,
Aaron Dismuke, yeah.
And Jason Rose. This scene is amazing between the two of them.
They killed it. It was amazing.
And this is Ironwood completely off the deep end. He's 6 meters down in the pool. Like, he's gone at this point, isn't he? He's
just mechanical at this point.
And we get him say, "I'm not afraid," and basically lash out, saying, "I was right. You're all wrong. I'm the only one who can see this." We get him saying, "When I softened, I let down my guard." And we get probably one of my favourite Oscar line of all time. "If you abandon Mantle, you abandon our best chance of reuniting the world. You abandon Remnant, leaving millions to fend for themselves so a few can survive." That one is damn powerful. And it's kind of the whole argument, isn't it? Of saving your own skin and a few, or doing what will be the harder task.
Ironwood's plan is just utter bullshit, because even if he tries to use the whole save the valuable few for the sake of the many kind of thing, but the problem is Salem just showed up on a fucking flying whale, so no matter what he does, she gonna get there eventually, dude. You're all gonna die no matter what you do.
We're gonna fly. Salem shows them on a way on a flying
try
whale.
and hide up there in the sky. You're gonna die. It doesn't matter how many resources and qualified people. You're gonna die because you'll get there.
This
and
is
literally the only plan that has a chance of working is RWBY's plan to reunite, try and actually create an alliance with the world and reunite humanity.
This is because we kind of got we've already jumped to the whale bit, and this is something. What's this on my head? No, this is because you've made me think of this. Wish Circuit was on the podcast last week, and I think Lee Stays Dabbing, who was on the week before, also mentioned this. Is Ironwood's plan is to get Atlas as high as possible so the Grimm can't survive. However, considering that Salem has built a specially built army to take on Atlas, both of them theorized, couldn't she just take it anyway, even if he tries to raise Atlas into the sky? That even if he could go through his plan, it probably still wouldn't succeed. I'm wondering what you guys think on that one.
Yeah.
Which way, Empress? That one does not help.
Just, yep.
No, I mean, I think that, I don't think it's going to work. Basically, it'll all have been in vain. Even if he can get it, the city to go higher. You got Salem with a flying army. I mean, obviously, they're not going to have limits.
It was always a temporary solution, because even if by some miracle it did work, we already know that we didn't expect it to be as temporary as it is, which he shows up on a flying whale, but it just shows that she was always going to be able to reach him. And even if he got all the Atlas elites and the relics and the maiden into however high up he was going to go, he still created the huge divide in all of Remnant, which is exactly what Salem is aiming for, and just basically making her job easier.
Okay, you two literally just put the lyrics from Divide in my head. How does it feel knowing your efforts will fail, all that you've built will be torn down, the home of your people assailed? That your efforts will fail to get it off the ground and Atlas will be torn down? That's... Anyway, so we get... Anyway, going back to the episode, so we get this argument of Ironwood going all excellent philosophical points, but I don't want to do this. I want to follow through on my plan.
I love how he's none of the matter if Salem wins. I'm bitch, you're helping Salem win. Fuck.
Literally.
And
then you were helping her, you dumb mechanical bitch.
And then we literally, as you said, we get the line from Oscar. Well, then you're as dangerous as she is, James. And then Matt Mercer strolls in with McCree. It's high noon.
Draw.
Boom. Okay.
What will you do?
So, just going by, like, not the morals, I mean, like, the cinematography, the acting, like, how it looks. I'm gonna say the line and, like, the way it goes, the shot of this is perfect.
Oh, it was.
Of,
It was
like,
great.
James is what my friends call me. Fit to you, it's General. Boom! Shoots him, he goes off the edge. Like, it was done to perfection.
Dropped.
My jaw dropped. Same.
Yo.
It's such a stunning moment. Like, we all knew Ironwood was gone, right? We all knew he'd snapped, this was it. But, like, Oscar was the one he was kind of closest to, was the one he kind of bonded with. And just watching him straight up shoot a child. He's a 14-year-old kid, he shot a child. And it's just like, holy Jesus.
Fuck.
Like, and this kind of moment is almost crescendo bit of, like, we get Oscar fall back as his aura breaks. And I like how the lyrics, the subtitles just say dramatic music. As the music suddenly sparks up the tempo, we suddenly get Freya starting to pass away as Cinder breaks through the wall of ice. And before she can attack Penny, flipping Winter cuts off her arm. Ooh. Like, I know it's a grim arm, but, like,
She can still feel it.
the screams again. Is it like Jessica Negri? She absolutely nails this. Like, it is, despite the fact she's the villain and we all hate her. Like, you can't, like, help but wince here at her pain. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
It's horrifying. The
I
animation
felt
on that
that
as well is just like creepy.
oh, it's yeah.
Yeah.
She like contorts as it grows back. This is the theory I've seen going around. Whilst talking about Cinder's arm, is that the grim section of her arm, of Cinder's arm, has actually increased.
Yeah.
It's now up to her shoulder, and if you look at her shoulder, it's almost burnt.
Yeah, it's horrible. Ooh. I hate her, but I can't help feeling a bit bad for her. Like, God, that's gotta be painful.
And so I'm going to put this up side by side with a shot from the Volume 5 finale, where it's about halfway up her upper arm. And it's, like, actually grown up her arm. And this is the theory I've seen going around. Is she slowly going to become, like Salem, like a full grimified person?
I feel like she'll
that'd
look
be-
even worse than Salem if she
Yeah.
does. If
Yeah,
that does.
honestly.
Based on the arm.
Like, so I
Like,
end up, like,
she's
looking
gonna
at
be full grim.
like Salem apathy combination. I hate every second of that image in my head.
So we get Winters come in, and we get Cinder grotesquely grows back her grim arm, and she goes full power on Winter, who's got no aura, and so rapidly starts taking hits. If she gets slashed to the ribs, she gets a slash across her nose.
Yeah, Winter took a beating this episode. I didn't like it.
And as this fight's going on, we suddenly see Freya pass away, and remind me, how does Pinocchio go again? The blue fairy makes him a real boy, doesn't he? And we see the blue aura start to rise out of Freya and up to Penny as Penny takes a hand. And of course, flipping Ruby cuts away. This is what I meant about the pacing. Like, they nailed it at every part and left you wanting more, but not in a way it felt like the scene was cut too early.
Yeah, I like heart racing for the entire episode.
And
Bro, that killed me.
so we get Oscar in freefall of, okay, I know this is a fantasy universe. A lighter object does not fall at the same speed as a human body. That's
It's
what...
part of him, though. Their weapons are part of their souls.
Okay, good explanation. Fair enough. I was about to make a Lord of the Rings joke, but that will do.
I'm so sorry.
The cane wants to be found. As we suddenly get Ozpin show up after a volume of being absent. Okay, this is the bit I want to ask. What the fuck happened here? Oscar gets his cane, clicks down the handle of it, and then all of a sudden all the cogs in it start glowing, and then he Hadoukens himself through the bottom of Atlas.
Magic.
Magic.
It's just magic.
But
One of the few times you're saying just magic actually makes sense.
so suddenly we're back with Winter as she's getting absolutely pummeled. She gets thrown against the ice wall, and suddenly her hair is completely down. She's been beaten. And I'm going to pause here because I'd like to go on to the next bit, but I did promise some people this. Yes, you can go off about how attractive long hair down Winter is now. You have permission to do it. Go ahead.
You've enabled this person.
She's so pretty. That's all I have to say.
These roosters are gonna be the death of me. I'm gonna fucking...
You really see how beaten up people get when they don't have their aura anymore. But she still went fighting Cinder. It was so badass.
It was dope.
Big question. Do you think Winter next volume will have her hair up or hair down?
It
I
better
hope
be
it's
down.
It better be down. Also because, not just because pretty, but also because symbolism. Because, okay, so here, sorry, give me a moment here. So what I don't know if, I'm not saying this is what we're gonna get, but what I want next, what my gay heart wants next for Winter to, like, gradually realize Ironwood has gone off the fucking deep end and decide to go rogue, and she joins up with Robin and the others. And I feel like her letting be a symbol of her no longer kind of letting other people control her, because like first it was Jax, then it was Ironwood kind of grooming her and everything, and
So an Elsa moment.
basically, yeah. But yeah, I feel like the hair could be symbolic too, in a sense. So I'm here. I'm here for that. Anyway.
May I present an angsty headcanon?
No.
You're going to anyway.
You're going to anyway. So
Thanks for saying yes. Let me continue.
Oh my god.
What if... So, again, we're going to get back onto this later, but it seems to hint that we're going to get slightly... I think it might only be slightly, but in some way, antagonist Winter. She's going to be put in a situation where she's going to have to go up against Team RWBY. Mostly because I'm with a
We
dick.
talked about this when I was on the podcast.
Oh no, I've got this idea, right? What if we get the Winter Weiss fight and Weiss wins? And as we get Winter on the floor, Weiss comes up and hugs her and undoes her braid. Of like the whole thing of you've got to find your own path, like stop being so militaristic, don't follow Ironwood, be your own person.
Stop.
Anyway,
can we not? dude, just can we not?
So
Can we actually not?
as we get Cinder go over to kill Winter, we suddenly get a snowflake fly past and she focuses on it. And we turn around as this blizzard begins. It's Winter Maiden Penny.
I was so happy.
Yes!
I love Maiden Penny.
This is what we're waiting for. This is what we wanted.
It's what I'm dying over.
Green
Penny.
flame eyes. Green flame eyes, y'all.
It's so cool.
Is it to do with their aura or eye color?
Their eye color.
Well, her aura is also green, isn't it?
True, actually.
I think.
But like Raven's aura is different from her eye color, and her flames are like more of her eye color than anything.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay. Well, then there's your answer.
Thank you.
And we suddenly get that scene cuts away. We suddenly get Oscar firing up his staff. It cuts back to them as RWBY and Weiss run in, and we get Cinder stunned that RWBY's there. And RWBY just unleashes her silver-eyed power on her. Like, no hesitation, like...
RWBY just when I see a Cinder, I floor it.
Just muscle memory with that bitch.
Just full headlights, beamed.
She has personal feelings.
And...
I love how everyone's adopted that as like the saying now. It's like personal feeling.
And so...
I'm just gonna bring that out whenever someone gives me angst like this. feelings.
As that scene cuts to, as fades away through the silver light, and we get Oscar smash his way into the floor, we suddenly have a black screen. Please say I wasn't the only one who literally stood up and went, please say that's not it.
Same.
I was freaking out.
I could
I was
see
like,
in the
no.
player that it wasn't it, but I was still a bit like,
I actually moved my mouse to make sure there was still time left because I was like, no.
You're like, no, I will not accept this to be it.
Yeah.
And we get Ozpin give this fantastic monologue of the only thing that is present in all creatures on this planet is fear. And as we cut between Oscar free falling through the bottom, he's smashed his way through the bottom of Atlas and he falls to Mantle. As we cut back and we cut to Ruby's scene and we cut to Juniper's scene with the bees, and he's giving this monologue throughout. And so we have Weiss go over to Winter, and Winter's like, what did you do? And oh, why are you gonna be mean to Weiss? Like, Weiss is barely in this episode, and yet she has some of the biggest heartache in it. Like,
No, like Winter sees Weiss and like, yo, you okay? No, like, what the fuck did you do? Like,
and we get Ruby come over to Penny and try to comfort her. And once again, we have another scene where I'm pretty sure Penny, if she could cry, would be crying.
I hate that. I'm like, please let
she
her cry.
wasn't filled with tears.
My heart.
Yeah, totally. But like, I'm gonna fix this real quick here. Have some liquid eye drops real
Have
quick.
some tears.
Yeah.
And we get this moment of Penny saying she's gone, and Winter quite harshly just turns around and goes, she's a part of you now. I'm going to ask the question, is Winter a little bit bitter here?
I think she's conflicted.
Yeah,
conflicted.
I didn't see it as like bitterness or jealousy. I saw it more as just like frustration, if you get what I mean.
I mean the fact that she's
taken
failed
so long
in
to
her
come to
mission.
terms with.
Like, see, that's the thing. Because again, yeah, it's not that she wanted the maiden powers. I don't think she did at all. It's that she'd been so like she'd convinced herself that what she had to do, you know, and she'd spent so long up to this being her destiny and convincing herself that, you know, Ironwood was right and she needed to do this. So for her to then, you know, to then have Penny kind of take it and say, it's like, on the one hand, I think she's hugely relieved deep down underneath. But on the other hand, not only does she feel like she's failed Ironwood and, you know, her calling, but also she doesn't quite know what she's going to do now, if you get what I mean. Like, so I think it's a lot of things. I think it's, I don't think it's not as simple as just her being like envious or bitter. I think it's more that there's a lot of different things than that.
Yeah. And as it goes through this montage, we suddenly get Ruby come up and punch us in the face again, as it suddenly cuts to Crow being arrested, and we get him and Robin being taken away in a prison transport as Robin wakes up in the wreckage. We get Cinder flying up over Atlas, of which we get a moment of, as Ozpin says, the fear of failure. It has her breathing
Cinder
fire
is
and
like-
rage.
Yeah, Cinder is really. I love the whole way they shot this speech. It's so great.
It was awesome.
We get the bees and the OAPs picking up Team Juniper, Team Junior even, and we get this moment where Blake and Yang look at each other, and you kind of get the feeling that Blake kind of gives a little nod to Yang, and Yang asks, "Where's Oscar and the relic?" And Team Junior is broken. You've got Jean, who looks utterly down. You've got Nora, who looks like she's about to cry, and Ren, I'm pretty sure, is crying.
Yeah, good times, y'all. Good times.
Good times. Vibes for everybody.
Can't wait for more.
And guess
Can't
what?
wait for tomorrow.
The next scene, we get another time where Ruby reaches in, crushes our heart in front of us, Indiana Jones style, because it goes back to Crow in the prison transport, and he looks down into his hands, and what has he got there?
Pain.
Clover's lucky
He has
Clover
angst
badge.
and pain and suffering.
Fuck.
And we get Robin give him this reassuring kind of like hold on the shoulder, and I gotta ask the question: next volume, will Crow wear the badge?
I don't know if I want to wear it or just like, you know, keep it, but either way, I'm here for the.
I think he'll keep it. I don't know if he'll wear it until like maybe as a sign of progress later on when he's like coming to terms with things.
What if they try to take it from him?
What if it's
Stop.
what if when they get their revenge on Ironwood, he takes it back?
Yeah.
Oh, and just because I'm evil, let me crank the angst up
God.
one more
Stop,
before they leave flipping Solitas, before they go to Vacuo, wherever the next like section of the story is going to be, he places the pin on Clover's memorial or Clover's grave.
That'd be nice.
That'd be
though.
awesome.
Like
nice.
it's like closure. It would be like closure, right? Like
I don't
it would be like closure. He's like,
Anyway, so we suddenly get Oscar as he's free falling, and superhero landing. Like
he learned his
had
landing
a few of
strategy. I'm
those.
so proud of my boy.
as we cut between him beginning to get ready to fall, and we get Winter tell the others, you must surrender to Ironwood, and we get Kara bring out the most her lines in it. She's got like such small lines, but they're so heartbreaking. Of like, we can't do that. Like, oh, Weiss,
Baby.
and then you get, and Winter replies, and I suggest you run. And
That's a threat.
Weiss doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to leave her. And this is, I think, the definite moment of what you were saying about Winter's conflicted. You're not leaving me. I'm giving you a head start. Of like, she is
it's like
stuck.
she's-
But again,
she's not at the point yet where she would go against Ironwood, but she also doesn't to like just screw them over completely. So she's like, get out of here, so I don't have to like feel.
It feels to me a bit like Clover in the last episode, where Clover, you can tell Clover is stuck between his orders and what he personally wants to do.
I'm just hoping that Winter, unlike him, Winter has the opportunity to like.
I kind of feel it will be. I feel very
I
heavily
think that's.
that.
I think because I mean we've spent a lot of time. We've time to get to hope that therefore she will become more conflicted and eventually ditch Ironwood's loose ass.
So we get Winter radio in help, and we get the line from Weiss. Oh, it just. We
Just
all have to
fucking
carve out
pain.
our own way. Oh, just.
I'm so proud of her. She's matured so much.
And
Seriously.
Yang flies in.
Same.
Yang flies in to pick him up, and we get them leave. And Penny goes with them. And the final shot is of Winter as she lies there.
I was so happy Penny left with them.
Yes.
The look
Does this
on
mean
Winter's
Juniper's
face,
back on?
the look on Winter's face as they leave of just, oh no, like her realizing the predicament she's stuck in and everything that's going to go round.
No.
But on the upside, we have got Team Juniper back. Woo!
The mood swing. I love it.
They have a new redhead.
Let's hope it goes better than last time.
It will never be better, okay? Redheads and Rooster Teeth just don't mix.
Don't say that. Nora's gonna survive. Don't know what you're on about. Penny's not gonna die again.
Keep telling yourself that.
Hey, I'm supposed to bring the angst on this podcast, all right?
I mean, you don't have to.
You
could
don't
be
have
nice.
to.
Speaking of non-angsty things, we suddenly get on the ship. We get as Penny's sitting there. Both Ruby and Weiss kind of cuddle up to her in this very sweet, adorable moment. As you get Penny smile, and we get Pietro look at them, and Pietro's just got this little smile on his face, and it's just this nice little happy moment.
He is best dad.
Pietro just looking at these three like, I have now 3 daughters.
And then we go
You're
back.
all my kids now.
We've got Cinder re-meeting up with Neo as Neo presents her the lamp and Cinder just takes it, and we get another hint that Neo will turn her back on Cinder at some point as she looks extremely agitated that she's got no appraisal for her hard work. We get Ironwood in the vault of Winter sends in the message, it's gone, and we get him enraged, of which we, at this point in Ozpin's monologue, we get the, will you be the very thing you should have feared from the start?
And Ironwood's there, and it's like, yeah. That's what,
For once, I'm agreeing with Ozpin.
Yeah, can I just go back to Neo for a minute? I love the flourish with which Neo presents the relic. She's so dramatic. And even Cinder, who is herself a dramatic bitch, is just like, whatever.
I will say, actions
Cinder's
speak a
unhinged
thousand
now.
words.
Mm.
And we cut to, I think, probably one of the last people any of us expect to see this episode of Arthur
He's
Watts.
alive!
He's alive. I will freely admit I'm an idiot. I got it wrong. And so we got Arthur in this cell. We have him look out the window, and then he just grins, the most evilest of grins, as this shadow takes over the city. And
I just love that the grin is literally just his mustache, though. That's all you see.
Hey, there's only one person with a good mustache in Remnant, and that is Professor Port.
It's true.
So as we get Oscar Land, and he talks to Ozpin. Ozpin says, you saved us. And as he tries to, I don't know if he was going to give excuses or explain himself or apologise, Oscar interrupts him and say, all I want to know next is how we save Atlas.
He's like, nah. I don't want to hear that ish. How we doing this?
And we get this great shot, which is a parallel to the opening shot of the volume, where we had the airship flying towards Atlas. We get them flying away from Atlas as these storm clouds with red lightning flash in the background. And as the team looks dejected, we get the radio crackle in, and there is apparently masses of Grim on the radar. And we see Maria's eyes widen as hell itself appears. As a giant flying whale with about 10,000 Grim following it suddenly appears through the clouds. And who's on top of the whale?
This freaking titty window mom, Salem.
It's Salem herself. Okay, I promised I would say this. I didn't want to say this, but I promised someone I'd say this. Yes, it is indeed a boob window job for this operation. She needed to have a bigger boob window. She's gone with a new dress.
2,000 years, she finally
She's
got a
about to see her
wardrobe
ex.
change. Let her have it.
She's about to see her ex.
You didn't
Oh,
just
God.
say that.
You did not. Oh my god, dude. Why? What would possess you to say that?
She's right!
I mean, yeah, but you're right, but you don't have to say it. What are her eyebrows fucking doing? I can't, like that.
They're being evil!
I know, but like, oh
She
yeah,
just got them did because she's seeing her ex.
They on fleek!
the eyebrows are like mixing with the grim markings and like making her eyebrows look like they like go to her hair.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
One of those like band things around her arms. Salem, are you wearing on your arm, bitch? What the fuck is
She
that
came back from
aesthetic?
like a Metallica concert. Leave her alone.
What sort of Metallica concerts have you been going to?
I don't know. Have you
This
seen
is
them
more
over
like
there?
in this moment.
Yeah, this is at least more Slipknot. Anyway,
Oh
go
my
back.
God.
Actually, no, I've just remembered this. We talked. Me and Empress talked about this before we started the podcast. We joked about that Winter has her eyebrows tattooed on. Salem has had her eyebrows tattooed on. All her hair is white. She had her eyebrows tattooed on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm saying it.
She dyes them.
She dyes her
Oh my
eyebrows.
god.
Oh
Okay.
god.
I'm over that titty window.
I'm
Nobody is.
This is the episode that made the entire fandom thirsty for the villains. Well, even more thirsty for the villains.
But credit where credit is due. At least her moves look kind of realistic. I'm just saying, like, with Space It, like, they look kind of realistic. Like, at least they managed to do that.
I was gonna do a joke where I coughed and said an anime, but to be honest, there's more animes that don't have unrealistic proportions than do, so it's a redundant joke.
It's true.
Of which, come on, this shot of, like, the lightning crackling and the whale slowly emerging, and her just on top of it.
It was terrifying. But my first thought at seeing the whale was,
Megamind?
Oh shit, it's a monstro.
Oh, right.
Because of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
and the, like, Pinocchio ties there.
Well,
that was my first thought when I saw it.
We're going to get back onto Pinocchio, because... so, we've got a lot to talk about. Where better to start than angst of Penny and Pietro death flags, because we've got a giant whale. Sparks, I think you've talked about this one a bit.
Just to spark fear in the fandom, yeah.
Run us through for those who don't know. Run us through the idea.
Okay, so basically, I don't know if I'm as worried for Penny here as I am for Pietro. But in Pinocchio and Geppetto get eaten by a whale, like swallowed by a whale. And I don't know if it's more death flags for Pietro, because we already had some with him talking about how he won't be able to bring Penny back more than once. But I don't have any solid theory for it, but I'm just worried for...
I don't know, the symbolism
in
this episode of Pinocchio getting their wish to become a real person by the blue fairy, a blue maiden passing on the powers to Penny, of, yes, flipping Ozpin, the maiden powers, and Kruby said trans rights. I feel the symbolism...
They did say trans rights.
The symbolism of Pinocchio, I feel there's got to be such a thing that they're going to get eaten by the whale, right? Like, surely. Of which, I have another angsty headcanon. What if it's been heavily theorized that, as you said, Sparks, that Pietro will die, and it's been also said that Pietro will bring Penny back one last time and in process kill himself. What if they both get swallowed by the whale and Penny's pretty much destroyed and he sacrifices himself inside the whale to bring her back to life?
What does that mean for the maiden powers?
That's the question I want to bring up, okay? Penny, it got noted by Pietro in the first episode that pretty much, unless her core, like her, I'm guessing the chest part of her animatronics gets destroyed, she can still be rebuilt. So she can be decapitated, she can be disembodied, like, she'll still be fine. So... But she'll be dead. She won't have an aura. Like... What happens? Where do the maiden powers go? Which brings me to the thing of I could see Penny dying again, being brought back, but losing the maiden powers in the process.
She just got them.
Cinder's still out there, yo. Like, I'm just saying it. Like, Cinder's still out there, and she probably now wants a second scrap, you know.
Yeah, let's not think about that.
No, I don't wanna.
So
she just got her powers.
Okay. So, end of a volume. First thing I'm going to ask each of you. What did all you... whoever wants to go first. What did you think of this volume, overall?
I loved it.
Same. Like,
Yeah,
it was
I thought
really
it was
good.
really good. I thought it was really good too,
It
yeah.
kept me on my toes the entire freaking
Straight
volume. I had
up.
no idea what was going to happen next.
Same. Like, even the intro was so different to the other ones that we didn't even have as many hints as what to expect
Definitely.
Yeah.
than we have on other times, and it's just... Normally I have way more theories, but they They're right when they said you don't know what it's about until it happens, and when it happens, it's just kind of like, oh no.
And
Definitely.
I felt like it was very like what I think Volume 1 and 2 would have been if they had the resources that you do have now, you know? Like, very good at setting things up.
the big question is, the general consensus in the fandom is that Volume 6 is to be the best volume so far. For you guys, does Volume 7 beat it?
Oh.
I don't know if it quite beats it for me, but it's getting there.
Yeah. To me, if it honestly, the one thing that keeps Volume 6 above Volume 7 for me is probably the infamous, or quote unquote infamous, death of certain goat man.
Fair enough.
I think for me, what keeps Volume 6 above is the, like, even in the first episode when you see the girls back in a room where they're all on bunk beds, that just made my, like, year.
Right, okay.
So, like, there's little moments like that were just getting to see them all interact more and getting to see them all just, like, we got Team RWBY separated and got to see them all back together for the first time, and I think just like the nostalgia of much of that, and seeing like Blake and Yang figure things out, and then of course Goatman would just always, like, it has my heart.
The follow-up questions of that is this the best finale? Because as I watched it a third time the other day, for me personally, I'm actually going to say I prefer it to Volume 3's finale. Because Volume 3's finale is so hard-hitting, but if you go watch it back, the pacing is kind of not as good. It's not bad, but it kind of, not so much flatlines, but evens out. And I feel this one, as I've already said 22 times, I think, the pacing in this is spot on. It doesn't drop the beat for a second. It keeps you at this fast pace. And just that feeling, I don't know why it kept me up there. It for me, I'm still neck and neck on which of 6 or 7 I prefer. But for finales, I think this wins for me.
Well, I think what they did differently that they haven't really done in the past is, like, usually we have that moment of calm somewhere at the end, like at the very end. But this one was amped up right till the stopping point. Like, this is the first real, like, cliffhanger I've felt, like, really nervous about.
Yeah,
that's fair. It didn't feel as much as a finale in a way because of the fact that it ends on this cliffhanger. Like, we're at the peak of tension, and it just ends.
I kind of feel this is where RWBY's kind of going to go. Because the first, as it's always pointed out, first 3 volumes is literally them at school. And then the 3 after have kind of been building up of the stakes. It's been getting bigger and bigger. And I think from this point on, it's kind of literally, excuse the phrase, but shit's hit the fan.
Yeah, it's accurate.
And I think it might be a while. I would be surprised if the end of next volume is calm. I think the end of next volume will be hectic. It might not be a cliffhanger, but it will be hectic. I think it might be a possibility that, like, from here on out, all our finales are going to be breakneck pace finishes, and we're just going to be left with for, like, 6 months as we wait through the hiatus.
Yeah. Personally, I see it as kind of like y'all remember when Avatar the 2nd season ended, how that ended? I feel a bit like that. Like, you have this defeat and then just retreating to a calm, you know?
Yeah.
To be honest,
and that will probably vacuum.
I'm glad you brought that up, to be honest, because the ending of this did make me think of that. Kind of them leaving Atlas and knowing the city's fallen. And now we've got a very similar situation of them leaving the city as Atlas is about to get the shit kicked out of it, if we're honest. Which leads to a good question. How do you think the next volume is going to start?
I was thinking about this today, actually. I don't know if they'll time skip and then kind of work back, or how they're going to do it, or if it'll just be like this volume started right where it left off.
I think it's the latter, because I think they talked about that, how like it will start right where it leaves off.
Yeah,
I can't
true.
remember. But I have no idea how. have no idea how.
Okay, I'm not being smug, but I'm going to be smug. I mentioned this, I think, on the podcast. Okay, it was a joke, but I joked about the next volume being set, the entire 13 episodes, whatever it is, being set over 3 days or so. I could really see that happening now. Like, the next volume, like, the first 4 episodes are all, like, the following 8 hours, or, like, and then the next bit's the next few days, and just as shit goes wild. Because I don't see them skipping ahead, like, any sort of time frame on this. Not when we've got Salem about to attack, right?
No.
And so the question is, are we going to start straight where we left off, or is there going to be, like, a time gap of, like, I don't know, 3 hours a day? Like,
it's gonna be chaos.
I have no idea.
It's just gonna be chaos.
It's gonna be wild.
It's... yeah.
With Arthur Watts not dead, I'd like to point out that Salem can now regroup with all of her villain buddies.
Oh,
No.
I know what you fucking...
Oh, do you want more angst? Because I've got more angst for you.
Son
Don't
of
you
a
worry.
Stop.
No.
It got theorized a lot.
Ironwood is so fucking
Stop.
stupid.
It got theorized an absolute ton this volume that Arthur would somehow control Penny. And in a way he did. He manipulated her to look like she was the villain. I don't know why, but when the scene of Arthur in the jail cell, when the shadow came over, I thought it was Ironwood. And I saw the thing of...
What's that shadow?
He sees the shadow of the whale Grim appear. I don't know why my brain thought it was Ironwood. Even Ironwood's not that chunky.
It's a giant ironwood.
That's a chunky Ironwood. Anyway.
Iron giant.
Hey.
So...
Maybe that's his semblance.
Hey, that would be
Honestly.
so cool.
Honestly. Oh shit. He turns into the Iron Giant as a semblance.
Just
okay,
punches the
points.
whale.
Oh my god.
Anyway, going back to what I was about to say. His line, I completely control Penny from Cordially Invited. What?
I don't like that.
I also saw the thing of people are asking, oh, what if Ironwood tries to control Penny? Oh no, Pietro's there, he'd stop it. The only person who's shown really to have the intellect on par with Pietro is Arthur Watts. So what if Ironwood makes a deal with Watts?
No.
No.
You hack Penny for me.
Stop it.
No, don't like that. No.
Stop. Don't like that.
Maybe we don't.
He fucking would, though. He fucking
He
would.
would.
He would.
You
He
don't want it.
would.
That doesn't mean I want to admit it.
It seems hinting that whilst I don't think she definitely won't be a villain, we will get Winter coming into conflict with the heroes. And I think, as Raven said, it's gonna next volume. I think one of the side stories will very much be Winter's "Where Do My Allegiances Lie," being my own person.
Make good choices.
It
Winter,
was
please.
theorized, and I totally wasn't one of these people. That Weiss and Winter would have a fight. Is that back on the cards?
It is.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I think it could happen, but not like in the Winter's the bad guy now.
No. I don't think it would ever be in
I think
Winter's
it's
the
gonna
bad
be
guy.
really tense.
I think it'd be in a
it's gonna be
conflicted sort of,
Tense.
It's like a I don't want to
Painful.
fight you moment.
very
But-
much Clover Crow.
But I'll do what I
Vacation.
must.
Yeah, I think it'd be closer to the Crover.
Crover?
Oh my god, Crover situation.
You'd be from the West
Clover
Country,
and
really.
Crow situation. I can't talk.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think-
god.
yeah.
I think it'd be closer to that where, like, we've seen Winter borderline defy orders to protect Weiss. Like,
Yeah.
even just at the end of that where she's like, I'm not letting you go and give you a head start.
I would like to point out, though,
Or
what
like, you
could
get
have
that funny situation where she sees stopping Weiss is like protecting Weiss, but they still have to like fight over
in that
it.
scenario though?
But it's also like
It's over for you.
sad. But it's also really sad to think about like, how she almost seems incapable of just fully disobeying an order. Because it's just so indoctrinated into her to follow order.
Which brings me on to something else very briefly. Do you think Ironwood will order Winter and the Aesops to try and kill Penny?
I wouldn't pass him.
No, I would not put it past him. This bitch is a dickhead. He would.
But that depends though. Will Winter actually reveal to Ironwood that Penny has the Winter Maiden power?
That's a good point, actually.
She didn't in that message.
She did in the message.
She just said it's gone.
She was kind of. I think she was buying herself time, like, you know. Yeah, she sort of bought herself time to think about, but obviously she'll have to make.
There's going to be questions.
Do you think
like,
that was
Exactly.
part of her buying time for Weiss?
Yeah.
That by saying not exactly who it was, he wasn't going to go after Weiss and by extension Penny.
That'd be so
I think
cool
so.
though. Like now it would be Winter in the position of not really telling Ironwood the truth.
Watch the fandom hate her even more. Like the precious dictator everything, even though she's like save people's lives, because some of them are fucking.
Speaking
There'll
of
be 2 maiden identities being kept secret.
Oh god.
Speaking of Atlas and people not being where they really want to be, we've got Crow and Robin in jail now.
Yeah.
We've got Crow swearing
Jail
revenge on Ironwood. We've evidently got Robin wanting to get back to her beloved mantle. So I believe this is cool for a jailbreak, and trust me, if I could, I would definitely be playing Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy right now, but sadly, copyright. Anyway, so the big question is, I'm so hoping we get a jailbreak. Are we all on board for the jailbreak theory first?
Yeah.
Okay, we're all in for a jailbreak. I hope you are, audience, because we're going to go on about jailbreak now.
I have 3 ideas about who would break them
That
out.
was going to be it.
That I would equally
Shit, it's
like.
been a day.
Oh,
So-
me and Raven have been up all night coming up with these.
We have.
The
Oh
picture
my
of the crazy
God.
guy out of Always Sunny from Philadelphia, that's been us. We've got all the theories. So,
So,
Raven, take it away. What are the plans?
okay, so the first plan was the most obvious move. We thought Marrow might break them because we were like, he was the most conflicted of the Aesops. If one turn, it's going to be him. Maybe Marrow will break them out.
He's looking to be traitor.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Then I was like, but okay, I want Raven to come back, and Raven has a portal, bro. So I was like, what if Raven portals in and breaks them out?
And
Like,
we can
I don't know
upgrade this
I don't know,
one.
yeah,
Team Stark breakout.
basically.
Because
And I don't know exactly how that would work, but like, why she would do it. But anyway, there would be a reason for her to do that, and she would do it. But anyway, but then my third option, which is literally just pure self-indulgent wish fulfillment, would be that but it could also be plausible if Winter does become conflicted. Is that Winter breaks them out because I'm trash for Schneewood Forest, so I just want some kind of interaction with Winter and Robin, please.
may I offer the fourth one,
Oh,
whilst
God.
you're not being thirsty over Winter Schnee?
I was thirsty. I was just being trash for a
Where
ship.
are you? Are you sure about that?
I promise
I
I'm
hate
okay.
all of you.
Anyway, what was I on about? Oh, for fuck's sake, you guys.
We didn't do anything.
Yes, fourth option. The fourth option is that the Happy Huntresses break them out.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Because if
I would love to see more of them.
if Schneewood Forest doesn't take your taste, may I tempt you with some springtime?
Bless.
Always.
Both are good
I feel like
ships.
they-
Both are good
they
ships.
try-
I am weak for Schneewood Forest, but they're both good ships.
Which
They would try to get like Robin out, and then Robin would be like, "No, we have to get Crow too."
Like also Drunk Bird.
which I will present the fifth theory, which is the crew break them out. We get Ruby, Juniper.
Yeah. But
They're
they
like,
don't
get
even
in,
know where he
loser,
is.
we're fighting a whale.
Get in, loser. Get in, loser. We're fighting a wolf with a titty window.
Oh my god.
Providing a guilt.
Hey, Journo, why don't you get all the gang on the podcast for the finale? It'll be funny.
Dude,
yeah, why not? It'll be a great idea.
You're friends with a bunch of useless gays. Like, what did you expect?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I had another theory to talk about, and you completely made me forget what it was. Oh my...
Not our fault, dude.
Maybe a little our fault.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about this. I wasn't gonna flipping self-deprecate myself on the podcast, but you know what I am? I'm blaming this group of people for the fact that I spent the entirety of yesterday and today, when I've tried to be serious and make gifts and be productive and do visa stuff, all my brain has been thinking, thanks to these ones, is boob window, boob window, boob window, boob window.
Titty window.
And like the 4 seconds where my brain hasn't thought that is when I've come into the chat and I've been spammed with pictures of Cinder and Winter. Now, I'm not calling you guys out. I love you guys, you're great. But I'm going to completely call you guys out here. Jesus, drink some water.
Oh no.
None of you feel guilty, do you?
Absolutely not. It's like none of you are free from sin.
Okay. Now, normally I'd leave this till the end of the podcast. But considering we have a lot of you on the podcast today, and I can no longer ask the question, what would you like to see from the rest of this volume? Seeing as, there isn't any more episodes.
Volume.
So what I'm going to ask is more of a collective group discussion. This is the group exercise, kids.
Oh, this will go well.
What do we think we're going to see from Volume 8? Just rough and wild theories.
Chaos.
More precise than that
Fire.
The rooster.
Wild chaos.
I think we're gonna
Okay,
see...
hear me out. I know it's going to sound crazy, but I expect
If you say gays, I'm kicking off.
lesbianism.
Ah, fuck.
I can't prove it, it's just a feeling I have.
They out here sitting in an airship 2 feet apart because they are gay.
They're super gay.
More serious. What do you think we're going to see from this volume coming up?
I said it! Lesbianism! I'm not serious.
I think we will see... I mean, I think we're gonna see Salem being a bitch-ass motherfucker. I think we're gonna see Ironwood being a bitch-ass motherfucker.
Okay.
See Cinder be an extra bitch ass.
Do we think Ironwood is going to die in this upcoming volume?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see
Absolutely.
that.
Think about
Do
it.
we
All the
see
headmasters
Salem-
have died.
Say what?
All of them so far. All the headmasters have died in their arcs.
And
Yeah.
all in some direction via Salem.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Do we see Salem killing Ironwood personally?
Ironwood's gonna kill Ironwood. He's gonna be the reason that whatever happens to him happens.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna make some other dumbass decision.
I love how we're all just so this podcast is us being done with James Ironwood bullshit.
To be
He
honest,
shot a
Cosmic
14-year-old
James
farmhouse.
isn't at this point. He
Bitch-ass
shot Oscar,
motherfucker.
the best of
Yeah.
boys.
I think we're valid. I wasn't complaining. I was just saying I just find it funny that we're going off Ironwood.
Okay. How long do we think Oscar's little adventure in the Mantle Mines is going to go?
I see it lasting like
Horribly.
maybe.
It's gonna be like Zuko in Avatar. It's just
Yeah,
Oscar alone.
Yeah, I see it lasting like maybe a volume. I think that he'll have like self-discovery stuff. It'll be nice to finally give him good development, which he's been starting to get. So that's
Okay,
nice.
are we finally gonna get that on-screen development?
Are we finally gonna get the development too? Because they teased it with those lines last episode finally, and like please give us Finally, we living off crumbs here. I refuse to starve.
The other one I've got is we have a giant whale, which is about the size of half the city. We've got an army of Grimm, and we've got an immortal witch who can't die. Surely the finale or some point of next volume has to be the fall of Atlas now, right?
It has to be at the beginning,
I just can't picture how they're going to fill out an entire volume.
I know. Maybe they're like, oh, it's like 3 episodes, but they're all like an hour long. Like, oh shit. They Sherlock it. They just Sherlock it and like have like a small set, but like they're long as fuck. That'd be pretty cool.
And this volume they said was going to be longer than the others.
Oh damn! I just thought something.
I mean, I feel like by the end of next volume they might be traveling back.
We're all assuming Atlas is holding out in this scenario. What if Atlas falls straight away, but Salem still needs it in the air? She needs to get the relic out of the vault. She can't crash out the sky until she's got the relic. What if next volume is Salem ruling from Atlas as she tries to hunt down Team Ruby and Co?
Holy crap!
And the finale of the season is the team doing a breakout because evidently, I'm gonna guess, Oscar, Penny, Nora get captured because it was the idea of, from the first volume, Nora will be the second one to get the relic. I'm going to say Oscar because it's Salem's ex, and Penny because she's the maiden.
Don't say it that way.
And it's the rest of the team, doing the breakout mission of, let's break into Atlas and get them all out.
Breaking it.
Oh god.
We can break out.
I can so see
the
that.
next season is just jailbreaks.
Yeah, but like, but again, like, so we're dealing with a volume that's longer than the rest. So let's say like around 14, 15 episodes, maybe. But still, how is that going to be filled out?
We'll figure. Kruby, what you got? The ball's in your court.
They've already been writing it, so obviously it's going well.
Yeah.
I can see the idea though of Salem ruling from Atlas and then basically being like having to tag team it and like guerrilla warfare their way through.
I would love that. I would love that because like think about it. That would also leave time for like between the like guerrilla mission, training and like plot. So I would be down for that. Like me, Salem.
Okay, that's the first part of my theory. Of which, again, if I am in any way right on this, as my usual saying goes, y'all ain't gonna hear the end of it.
You're just gonna be like, I told you so, I called it, you know.
The other bit I want to say is, how do we kill the giant whale Grimm? And I believe it was me and Sparks, I think, talked about this the other day. Of what if when they take the relic, they drop Atlas on the whale?
Oh, bitch.
That's great.
And we leave,
that'd be amazing.
And as Salem is either chasing the heroes or leaves Atlas, I'm gonna Michael. So this is not so much a prediction. This is something I'd love to see. Very much kind of either the end of this arc or end of the entire series. I would love to see Atlas, Mantle, New Mantle, whatever it's called. Wouldn't it be cool if it's flipping Councilman Robin as the leader, and Winter is her second in command?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
And you've suddenly got Atlas reunited with Mantle on the ground.
Their marriage is one of peace to unite the lands.
And if you want to ship it, Sneewood Forest is right there for you.
Well,
we've only got like at least 6 months of agonizing waiting and angst and pain and all that delightfulness to get through, guys. I think that is it. That is a wrap for this volume and this season on the podcast. I don't think there is anything else to say. Do any of you have anything to say, ladies?
I don't think so. It was a good volume. Thank you, Kruby.
It was an amazing volume. Yeah.
Once again,
Yeah,
round
they
of
keep
applause to
they
Ruby
keep
for
on
nailing
doing
it.
it. So, with thinking with like the sound design, the cinematography, the effects, and the animation, and all that stuff.
They had me like anxious for this entire volume. It was the build-up was amazing, and the payoff was fantastic, and I can't wait for next volume.
Okay, I'm gonna go quick fire on all of you. Here we go.
Oh no.
Favorite new character?
Marrow.
Marrow, Clover.
Oh, Robin.
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 Yeah, Robin.
Robin. Okay, no love for Fiona. I'm sorry, Fiona. Okay.
Oh, I like her.
Oh, she's
like...
precious baby.
Oh, hey, you made your decisions.
Robin.
Next one. Favorite new semblance?
Ooh.
Maze.
Fiona's.
Fiona's. Fiona's. Right.
I'm the only one picking the good trans meta that is Maze semblance. Okay. I'm joking.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
I get it.
Which character did you not think you'd enjoy as much as you did this volume? Who
Arthur!
surprised you?
Watts.
What?
Wait, which
Arthur!
one did I enjoy more than?
Yeah, more than you think you would.
What's absolutely what?
What? Let me guess. Favorite villain?
I don't know.
Arthur.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
I mean, I feel like I could count Ironwood as a villain now, and I really did like what they did with him this volume. But I don't. It's got to be Watts based just on this volume.
He was incredible this volume.
Watts was great. Like,
Okay.
give me that Sherlock shit, Victoria.
Oh wait,
Sherlock
actually,
shit.
I do have one. Like, I didn't expect to really like Crow's like story this volume.
Hey, we're getting to
Like,
that
I'm
bit.
gonna
Hold
make
on. We're getting there. Hold your horses.
Aesop's as much as they did, but then they threw that out.
Back up. Right, we're getting there. Favorite new weapon?
Robin.
Meryl's big ass boomerang.
Fetch. Very nice.
Yeah.
I liked Robin's a lot.
Yeah.
Crossbow.
We haven't got a name for Robins yet, have we?
I like Yang's upgrades. Does that count?
Yeah, that
can
counts.
I say Jordan's upgrades? I like
Sean's
Jordan's
upgrades.
I'm gonna rep. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll take Sean's upgrades. Right. Okay. Favorite scene or favorite sequence? I will give you.
I'm gonna
It's
be
gotta be
trash
the
and
bit-
say
it's gotta be-
dancing.
I'm gonna say it's gotta be the bit with for me the bit in the finale where it cuts between Penny and Oscar. With like the editing there where
Yeah.
it cuts between the two of them and you have their eyes going like the same point as they like that whole sequence was really well done. So
My
for me,
favorite
it's that.
scene was when Salem came up through the fucking suitcase, episode 11.
Very
That's
nice.
also
That
a very
whole-
good
the-
scene.
Oh, that was
That was-
terrifying.
So we've
I
got
would-
Yeah.
Ironwood's office. We've got the dorm room scene. We've got. Sorry, what was yours, Raven?
Mine was with Penny, like
The-
Penny
the
becoming
finale
the maiden
montage,
and
yes.
and Oscar like doing his shit. I guess you could include Ozpin's speech and that like montage bit in that because it's part of the same scene.
What about the rest of you?
Ruby's showdown with Harriet when she's like, "You were the best, then you trained us."
Team Ruby versus the
that
Aesops.
was so
I'm going to say
cool.
that's mine as well, and it is also. Actually, before we get to that, what about you, Skippy? You're the last one.
God. Okay, I'm a really predictable bitch, but like, and it's nowhere near as like plot narrative as the rest of you guys. But like, just that small like moment between Blake and Yang, where she was like just looking at her new hair and Blake was blushing at it. I just feel it was the kind of thing
That was just wholesome.
that was the kind of thing that 14-year-old me watching Volume 2 of RWBY would have fucking died overseeing.
Favorite fight?
I just said it basically.
Yeah.
Save
the
it
bees
for the bit that's
versus,
going to be on the podcast.
Element Vine.
Elm Vine versus Bumblebee, Bees versus Trees. What
That
about
was
the rest
really
of you?
cool.
I like that one too.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna just not be predictable and say the little Funky versus Juniper moment.
Funky
Oh.
versus Juniper.
that was
very
cool.
good.
But Cinder versus Winter and Penny was also an amazing.
Cinder versus Winter and Penny.
God,
What about you,
all
Empress?
the fights were so good. All the fights were so good. Shit. No, I really did like the Bees versus Elm and Vine. I just thought it was really cool how they like worked in their
The yin yang
semblances
shit.
and the yin and yang and shit. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yes.
Okay, now that we've got to see an entire volume of them in motion, favorite character design.
Favorite design?
I'm gonna say for the main cast, like their new.
Just
looks.
any of the characters.
Oh, any of the characters.
You can say Titty Window on Salem.
No, that's not gonna be right.
I was in the middle of typing.
I'm gonna say Ruby's new hair.
Ruby,
I love
fair
her
enough.
hair.
I love Ruby's new hair.
Yeah,
It
it
looks
was
so
really
good and it's
cool.
so unappreciated.
My favorite new design is gonna have to go for Yang.
Yeah,
That's fair.
fair
That's
enough.
fair.
I'm
Yeah,
tempted to say Yang as well. I think her.
You've all got to pick someone different. You're not all having Yang and Blake.
What?
I'm putting my foot down.
But I was gonna pick Yang. Okay, sure.
Yang's new weapon, like her weapon upgrades are really cool. I really love them. But
They are that.
new design as in like
Just
new
character,
design?
how they look. I say this primarily for the fact that everyone immediately dumped on Sean, saying it looked terrible. And then within 4 weeks, once we'd seen it in motion, everyone was like, oh, that's not half bad, actually. I kind of like it. And
Got
I'm
used
just
to it for a bit.
John's thing is fine.
I'm
like
still
it.
saying that if he had an undercut, it would have been 10 times better.
Oh, yeah, that
just
would've been cool.
saying.
Fair.
That's the volume
That's
9
fair.
leaks we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vacuo hair.
I like Crow's new outfit.
Crazy.
Crow was a very good one, yeah.
Okay.
Rex
I
was
liked
badass.
Nora's upgrades for her weapon as well. When we see her fighting Neon, and she just like full on takes off on her hammer.
That was so cool.
Use it as a broomstick. Oh my god. Right. Penultimate question. Who do you think will die next volume?
I don't want to think about this.
Ironwood.
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 I'm still kind of scared for Winter, but less so now that she didn't get them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Pietro, just because.
Pietro
Shush.
Yeah.
fair bet,
Shush.
unfortunately.
Okay. You are all not allowed to go for the same answer here.
Fuck.
One thing you would like to see in the next volume. Not what you think is likely, just something you would like to see. It's a good thing I'm going to edit this, because this pause is taking the piss.
Yeah, just
You
give us
told
a
us
minute.
not to all have the same answer.
Don't worry,
and
don't worry,
we
I'm
all
gonna
have
I'm
the
gonna
same
check the
answer.
news.
No, I'm genuinely thinking.
Same.
As soon as I'm cutting this bit out, titty window, titty window.
Is this like our Jeopardy
I guess
theme
next
music?
volume I want to see Hazel. I want to see Hazel back.
You want to see Hazel? Very interesting.
I miss Hazel. He's one of my favorites.
Okay. Intro saying Hazel. I'm going to put Skippy on the spot next. What do you want to see?
I said lesbianism.
I regret asking. Empress!
I want to see a little more of the downtime in between like battles and stuff. Some more character development.
Yeah.
I like those soft moments. They're a lot of
Raven?
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I agree with Rihanna, but also, let me think. I always want to see more of like Team RWBY together, because this volume was great, but that was the one that was kind of missing, and I want to see more of that. So I'm gonna go with that.
Finally, you, Sparks.
I did not think of an answer.
You were last.
I'm aware. All your answers were good, and that's what I was.
Your teammates stalled for time, and you still couldn't think of anything. They gave you all the time.
I'm sorry, I'm letting the team down, guys.
Shame.
Just remember,
I
in
just
RWBY,
really love the idea of that you came up with now of them being like
having to fight
hiding in
guerrilla
mantle,
warfare.
tag teaming guerrilla warfare, trying to like
Yeah.
figure stuff out, because that also leaves a lot of time for downtime in between and like time to regroup. It would also just be a really cool new dynamic that they haven't had to deal with yet, where like Salem being right there and them just trying to survive.
We could have it all.
I'm going to say it because none of you guys said it, and I'm amazed. A bees and a Renora kiss.
Well,
You told
you
us
told
not
us not
to.
to have the same answer, and none of us
It's
wanted
true.
to be that person.
So you did it for us.
So I want to see the payoff of the Renora conflict that's been going on. And obviously the payoff for the bees build-up that's been going on.
Yes.
Right,
Listen, as a
okay.
lesbianism, it was kind of a given that the bees are involved in that.
Honestly,
Hey, you could be talking about any ship right there. There's enough ships in RWBY that you could be talking about anything.
John,
You made it vague. Your fault. Anyway,
What do you take it for?
I think that is a wrap for this volume and for the RWBY Radio Podcast, for the time being at least. I would like to say, first of all, a massive thank you to my wonderful guests for joining me for this finale. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary pals, Empress of Edge, Captain Intro, SparksRise, Skippy, and BloodRaven. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
It was so much
Thank you for having
You're
us.
welcome. This was a blast.
Okay.
See you next week when you're done editing.
Normally my thing was, hey, where would we find you online? There's too many of them. I'm going to put the links on the screen and down below. You can go find them. Don't worry, go follow this stuff. It's well worth it. Some amazing art, some amazing fics, and some good RWBY content. I suggest you go follow them. I would also want to say one other massive thank you, and that is to you. That is to you, the listener, the viewer, for joining me for all these weeks. And for listening in on the RWBY Radio Podcast. It has been an absolute treat to have you with us every single week. And I hope you will join us back for next volume when we begin again. But apart from that, I have nothing else to say but one thing. Do you guys have anything to say?
No, I mean, just thank you for having me, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Same.
Thanks for putting
Oh.
up with us.
You want us to say titty window?
I knew that was coming.
I swear to God, titty window better make it onto the podcast.
At least 5 times at this point, and that would only be a fraction of the amount of times it was mentioned.
You know what? I vote you don't edit out anything.
Post it as is.
I'm actually crying.
The self-restraint I did to not say, just decided to just destroy all it.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
Oh, best way to finish with a bit of laughter. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary pals, thank you for listening on the RWBY Radio Podcast. Remember, be RWBY, not Salem. And I hope every single one of you has an amazing day and a fantastic hiatus. See you around.
Bye.
The bit where you say bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap.